Welcome to TrailManners, the podcast so dedicated to mountain trails and running that they broadcast out of a 78 Volkswagen bus in the mountains. Who does that? Eric and Joel are your hosts and will bring you the trail life as you may have not heard it before. You hear about everything from gear reviews, nutrition to keep you upright and moving forward, and they'll even bring guests into the bus for conversations that you won't hear anywhere else. It's time for some running adventures on a higher elevation. The old 78 Volkswagen bus is fired up and headed to the mountains. Here are your hosts for TrailManners, proudly representing the 801 with their passion and love for the trails, Eric Manning and Joel Hatch.
Welcome to the TrailManners podcast, episode number 65. Today, since it's the first of the new year, Joel and I are going to be talking about some goals. So if this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The TrailManners podcast is produced every week for your enjoyment, and show notes are found at trailmanners.com. Come back often, and please feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at TrailManners. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get after it. All right, here we are, 2017, and we're back here at the Bomber Studios.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 2017.
Thank goodness.
Ain't it? Right, for really. 2016, there's only
rough.
a few people I saw that enjoyed it, it seemed like.
Yeah, like, I don't know too many people personally that truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some milestones and stuff. But yeah, 2016 was a little sketchy.
It was a little rough
Yeah.
for us, you know, personally.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a whole nother 7 series podcast, right?
So I am welcoming this new year.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. So, yeah, 2017, it's actually today, January 1st, we're recording this.
Yep.
So it is 1117 today.
Yeah, I like that.
And you know, I'm kind of that
Oh,
weird.
prime numbers, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not a math guy. They're all numbers.
Yeah, and I think
So
they're prime.
Are they prime?
I think so. I'm
Optimus?
going with that.
Okay, so they are. And if you don't think they are, don't need to comment.
Yeah, you do.
Keep us straight.
Yeah.
So I'm the weird numbers guy. So I always like when I get my bib, it always has to equal 8 somehow, right? Like, no matter what kind of numbers, what's
Kind
usually
of math. You're like over there with the
plus minus.
Sharpie, like adding.
Yeah. So that's what I do. So 2017 to me is 2, okay, times 1. No, what did I have? God dang it, now I can't remember.
Oh, okay, so 2017.
Oh, here it is.
2
minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1.
Yeah.
Plus 0 is 0. Plus 7 is 8.
Boy, you made that really complicated.
Right?
Yeah.
And so 8's my favorite number. So anything that equals 8, I know is going to be pretty good.
I was
right?
just going to go 2 plus 7 minus 1. That would have done a pretty good job.
That's true. But I try to keep it in order, and that's
I
why
know.
I get hung up. Because, like, my race bibs, that gets difficult. Like 243.
Yeah, how you do
Stuff
that,
like
right?
that. Yeah, it's like, okay, 2 plus, nope, ain't going to work. 2, nope. Damn it, I'm going to
The
DNF.
rest of the field is gone. You're still at the start line, right?
Yeah, anybody got a calculator on their iPhone? So, yeah, we got some big goals this year, both personally, running-wise, and obviously through what we're doing here at TrailManners.
Yeah.
So we're going to, anything on the internet is there for life, right? And it's kind of that accountability thing. So we're going to loosen those screws a little bit.
Well, I think the podcast
tighten
is
them.
kind of there forever. As long as we keep paying our server fees, it should always be there.
Yeah, it
right?
should. Yeah, even be after us.
Yeah.
Right? In some crazy cloud system.
I know.
So, yeah, 2016, kind of a crazy year for running and then personal stuff. I mean, the podcast, I think, was, for me anyway, was one of the few positive things in
for me too.
2016.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean, I wish there was a lot more.
Right.
Just a rough go. Running wasn't there. Lost my mother. Family's been kind of crazy with,
Right.
kids going to college and moving out and all that kind of crazy stuff. So.
I know.
Oh, yeah, and I wasn't working for a long time.
That's
so
true.
There's that.
Yep.
Right? But 2017. So we've got some goals.
I think
Right.
so, yeah.
So I'm going to start and just kind of some personal running goals.
All right.
And this isn't race related. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
I'm going to try and use Strava.
Good.
And because I've never really done that. So if you ever looked at my Strava account, every once in a while I'll update something like a run and someone gives me a thumbs up, which is
Yeah.
cool, but it's like I don't use it all the time. Right. And it's just lack of organization or care, right? Because I have a spreadsheet that I'll sometimes put my numbers in because I like to track. What I track is my mileage, my time, and my vert gain.
Right.
That's pretty much what I'll track.
Okay.
So 2017, I'm going to go and try and use Strava as much as possible. I'll still use my spreadsheet because I don't know why, to be honest with you.
Habits are hard to break.
They are. And so I'm going to go that route and try to be more accountable on my part so I can kind of track what I'm doing just a little bit better so I can always go back.
Right.
Because I do that. I've looked at some of my races in the past and go, wow, why did I run well there? What did I do before it? And I'm like, oh, crap, I ran once on Strava, because I don't track it.
Right.
So I don't know why I'm doing that. So
that's
one of the things. And then obviously the easy one everybody can talk about is just be consistent, right? We talk about that like every time we go on a run.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that's some of my big ones, and then mix it up. I'd like to do some of the, more structured stuff, maybe repeats, speed work, etc. Things like that.
That pays off big.
Yeah, I saw you and Debbie last year, especially because we run together. But working under Ty, Draney, and doing all that stuff, man, you were zipping.
I know that definitely pays off when you're being consistent with it.
Yeah, and
For
so
sure.
that's some of the things I'm going to do and kind of be held accountable that way. So that's kind of my running backbone for the year.
That seems kind of short, don't you think?
Not really, because I'm not very good at consistency, and I'm not very good at using Strava, and I've never done real structured workouts. So I'm basically starting 0 for 3.
True, but I think you have some time goals too, right? That's running based.
Some races.
That's running
races.
based,
Yeah.
right?
So I mean that's because I went running today. January 1st.
You did, yeah.
Started my year off. Did some elevation. Got about 1,200 feet of climb in.
That's
went
pretty
up
good.
to Waterfall Canyon. Saw the frozen waterfall.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
only fell one time.
Yeah.
I was one of the few that didn't have spikes on. I hit hard pretty quick.
Right.
I giggled and bounced up.
Yeah.
I got some cushion. But yeah, I mean, as far as races go, right now I'm only signed up for 3. Right.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. And they don't start till July.
Ooh.
So I don't have to start running until May.
We've tried that in the past. It doesn't work out very well.
No, I've got some fun runs coming up. Going down to Zion Traverse in April. That's kind of the first real scheduled for sure thing.
Right.
There's some tentative stuff, but Beaverhead 100K.
Yep.
That's an A race for me. I want to do well there, but I don't know what well is there.
I don't either. If you go back and look at some of the fast dudes, and you look at their times, you're like, that's a hard course.
Mm-hmm.
It's challenging, for sure.
Yeah, it looks challenging. So I don't know what to do.
That's sold out, by the way.
I know, right?
Congratulations to Dave.
To Dave, yeah. He's sold out. The quickest he's ever sold out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names we recognize on those lists, so that's cool.
That'll be fun.
Maybe they heard about it, and maybe
Looking forward to seeing
there.
a bunch of people up there.
Oh, yeah. So that one I don't really have a goal on. And then the next two for me, again, I'm not a fast guy. Never have been.
Yeah.
So these goals for some might be like, oh, I've done that 10 times or whatever. But
right.
So El Vaquero Loco 50K. So this is my buckle year. I get the big buckle, year 5.
Yep.
I'm going for a 7:30.
Oh.
Okay.
Dang, son.
Yeah, right.
What's the fastest you ever ran that
My
thing?
fastest I've ever done that is 8:07. And that was
Okay.
in 2012.
You could do that.
Yeah. Well, that's, if I put it on paper, if I
You
put
can
it
do
out
it.
in the world, I got to go for it, right?
If you can run 90% of the first half, you'll do it.
Yeah. So
Right.
if I can get up that climb and then that downhill, yeah, it's just gonna be a matter because I've done 4 years. My worst time was this last year at 9:09, but I went swimming in the lake, so that took
Yeah,
some
so you
time.
had some fun.
But yeah, 8:07's the quickest.
UltraSign Up should have like an asterisk
Yeah.
type of setting saying this was a C race.
Yeah.
And then you could fill in why it was your C race, because then you can say, I went swimming.
But you'd have to do it before the race, or you could use an excuse. Like if you go into it as an A race and not have the best day, like, it was a C race.
True.
So you
okay,
could
I
maybe
like it. I think that's a good idea for
preface it that
for them
way.
to do that, right? Be like, okay, this is my A race, this is my B, this is my C, and then the outcome, right? How you felt about the outcome, good, bad,
Smiley
right?
face,
I
cry
like
face, right?
Yeah. What's his toes over? What's his name over?
Mark.
Mark needs to call us.
Yeah,
we got an idea.
I've been
Mark.
emailing him this week.
Yeah, you
We've been
have.
talking
Yeah.
about something else, but. And then my last race is the Bear 100. That's my pie in the sky AA plus race.
Yeah,
right?
the AAA.
Yeah, AAA.
Right.
And I want to go sub 28 there.
Yeah.
Now, I did sub 30 at Wasatch a few years ago.
Yeah.
29 and change.
Right.
So this is still, I'm not, sub 28. That's what I'm going to leave it at. Right, that's
You can do that as long as the weather cooperates.
Yeah, the weather cooperates. I mean, I know there's people out there like sub 28. Challenge yourself, but hey, that's a challenge for me, right?
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah, so
It
I'm
is.
good with my goals being kind of my level goals.
Yeah.
And there's, pie in the sky stuff, but I really would. And I went with the Bear 100. I went back and forth, like sub 27 or sub 28. That was kind of my whole thing, right?
Okay.
And I probably should have split it just to be fair.
Yeah, 27 and a half.
Yeah, but that's still, that's a good time.
That's a solid time.
So, and again, we're talking about me. So that's the other thing. So that's why my personal, like the consistency and mixing things up.
Right.
Come into handy. But there's some potential races early in the year, like Timp Trail behind the rocks,
right?
Sink Canyon 50K, which I've been eyeballing, hadn't heard of till this year in Lander, Wyoming.
That's over in Lander?
Yeah,
okay.
It looks pretty awesome.
When is
it's
that?
Like June, it's 24th of June. And then I've been looking at Javelina a lot the last few days.
Man, that'd be fun.
You know what? I have. It's
but
the 28th.
Here's the deal about the Javelinas. You got to figure out what your costume is going to be.
I could figure that. We were talking about that in the run today. I could go as Michael Phelps, just wear a Speedo.
Dude, that'd be funny. Lots of chafage.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. Squirrel nut butter, man.
Doesn't matter, man. That Speedo is going to hurt after about 25 hours.
Not if I get a custom one by the gang over at Rabbit in California.
True, you could.
A little custom Michael Phelps Speedo.
You could wear one of the girls' like booty shorts.
No, I don't want to do that to people. But yeah, those are kind of the other ones that I'm looking at. Some potential opportunity races.
Yeah.
Timp, Behind the Rocks, Javelina, Scout, Sink. But also be like at Buffalo Run. I'm just going to hang out there.
Yeah, I think just hanging out there.
Hard Rock's on the list to hang out, and then the Rut 50K. That opens this week too, by the way.
Yeah, that'll be a hangout one. There's going to be no running there on my part for sure. I mean, I want to go run, but I'm not going to race it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that one too. And then adventure runs, like to do scheduled to do Zion Traverse. I love to do the Ruby Mountains. Love to do Kings Peak. We've wanted to get the Tetons in the Cirque there.
It's going to happen, or I'm going to quit running.
Yeah, so there's I've got a pretty stout idea of what I'd like to do.
Yep.
But there's always those kind of whim ones. Like, you've talked about heading to southern Utah just for a weekend, doing some running.
We got to do that.
Cowbell. We keep hearing so much about
that
down there.
That needs to be a race. The more cowbell.
Yeah.
It needs to be a race.
Yeah, like
that's
a legit
such a
race.
Good idea.
Yeah. But that's kind of my overall, like the running and the personal side of.
Yeah.
There's other things. Like my personal goals is trying to figure out a way to make the duck face go away on social media.
Dude, I know
that's a huge goal
so
of mine.
I've been off the social media for a solid 2 months.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.5 months. So I don't know what the hell duck face is.
It's been around for too long.
Has it?
I don't know. It's just that little pucker that people, when they take a photo, they kind of go.
Oh,
the pucker lip thing.
Yeah.
They call that the duck. And I'm done with that one.
I think there should be a smacking rule.
It should be a time limit.
Just straight up backhand. Not too hard. Just a quick little.
Hey, remember? Yep, that's what it is. Remember? Nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And then I want to find a new cool word instead of epic. Because that's it hasn't run its course, but it's getting there to me. Some people it's like, oh, it's run its course. But so I'd like to have another one.
Dude, I like awesome.
I use Frossom. Frickin' awesome.
For awesome.
Yeah. And I've come up with another one I came up with the other night while I was sitting around having a beverage.
How about a hossum?
Hossum.
Hell yeah, awesome.
Oh, I like that. Hossum.
Awesome.
We could hashtag that. And then what about a smilestone?
Smilestone?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Like a milestone with a smile?
Yeah. Smilestone.
I hit a smilestone today. So I'm working on some stuff. All right, I'm working on some stuff.
We need to make some Christmas cards with these.
So where do you got going? I mean, I know some of your races.
Man, I think
because you got a 100-miler coming up.
Well,
quick.
I think personally, that's where I'd like to start. Is last year was pretty rough. Just personally, it was rough, and I think for the most part worked through a lot of the issues. And there's no need to cover those here, but I lost a bunch of weight over the summer, and that's when I saw my speed increase dramatically.
Yeah.
Well, then I put all that weight back on.
Yeah.
And it
Found
sucks.
It. Yeah.
Frustrated. So that's like the first thing I want to get a handle on is get that extra 20 pounds off again.
Yeah.
So I can get back to running fast again because that was fun when I was running fast. Holy cow. I enjoyed that so much.
Had a lot of smilestones.
Lots of smilestones. That sounds a little naughty too, by the way.
That's right. I can't decide if it sounds like Smurfish, like little kid cartoonish, or kind of like.
No, this is like a little bit creepy.
Wow, wow.
It's almost creepy. So I think that's for me the first thing I'd like to do. I'm still like being super tentative, and I'm still nervous about this hernia repair. Even though I know it's rock solid, I'm being like overly cautious, I think.
Yeah.
And so I haven't really done a whole lot in the gym. I need to get back at it. Problem is, every time I do something new in the gym, I feel it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what's going to happen.
Scar tissue, maybe?
I think so.
Or stuff like that?
I think so. I think I just need to kind of, stop being a big sissy about it and test it out.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't want to go through that surgery again. That
Yeah.
sucked.
Well, do you find, because we've had this discussion, do you find as you get older, you're more cautious that way? Like if this was 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah, 10, 15 years ago, I would have said, the hell with it.
Yeah.
But now, no.
Yeah.
Trying to be smart about it because I don't want to go through it again.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing right now is to lose the weight and to get strong again. That would be awesome because I know then that's going to totally support the first race of the year, which is Zion.
Yeah.
And last time it was Zion, I was easily going to do sub 28, which is not like terribly fast for that race. But for me, that would have been like a new PR. But then my feet fell apart. So then I struggled with a 31. I had to do the death march. So
that's an early 100 too. Though.
Yeah, and I'm kind of nervous just
April.
because I haven't done a whole crap ton of running in the last 2 months, to be honest. I mean, if you look at my Strava day, you're like, dang, son, are you actually a runner? So I need to get on it, and it's hard right now just because the motivation's not there with the weather.
Yeah.
Because the weather's terrible.
It is. Well, this time last year, we still had some dirt.
Yeah,
right?
we did, right?
And now we're socked in. We got lots of ice and snow, and this air right now is just rancid.
It's murder right now.
It's bad.
It's terrible. I think it's going to mix it up this week, but still, just got to find the motivation to get back after it again. I don't know. For Zion, if I had a solid base under my belt, I would say sub 24. But I think if I can go sub 26, I'll be happy.
That's awesome, though.
Which is that would be huge for me to do that.
Yeah.
But I know I can. I could do it if the weather's good, if the course is in good shape. I think I could do it and do it without a pacer and without crew.
Yeah.
No, I think I could do that. I know what the course is, so it's not like I'm going to go do something new where I'm like, well, I don't know what this section is.
Yeah.
I know what the course is.
Yeah.
So that would be my first race, and then I kind of want to go back and do Temp.
I love that race, man.
There's parts of that course that are so dang pretty.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some parts of that course that are kind of boring, but you can run them really fast.
Yeah.
Like crazy fast. So I want to go back and have a better time, I guess, more than anything else. And hopefully it's not a mud fest.
Yeah. I've almost every time I've run that's how it's been, though.
Yeah, it's crazy mud fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I still love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I had that on my tentative list in.
Yeah, that's tentative. I think
May.
I'll try to pull the trigger before the price increase.
Yeah.
Happens.
I got to pay attention to those, too.
Yeah. And then, so I ran that last year at like 5 hours and 59 minutes. That was like my coming back to racing. That was my debut back, right?
That was fun.
And I was so excited that I did it. And I did it in the time I wanted to do it in. So this year, I want to go under 5 hours. So I want to cut an hour off, which I think I can do.
That's a 26-mile course-ish. Cutting an hour,
I can do that.
Yeah.
I know exactly where I can make up the time.
I can't remember what you said, but I remember when you crossed the finish line, I couldn't tell if you were happy or not. You were like...
dude, I was so happy.
You were after I
was
asked you. I'm
pumped.
like, dude, are you okay? And you're like, yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm like,
pumped.
I didn't read that well.
Yeah.
You should have said, So I remember that was funny. That was awesome.
That was fun. Yeah, I think I can go back there and go faster. If I feel good after Zion, it's all going to depend on Zion, how I beat myself up there. And then 2 weeks after Temp is Scout Mountain. And the only reason I want to go back is because I did so poorly last year. Just had my ass handed to me so badly.
That opened up today.
That's right, it did.
Yeah.
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 I was doing the website work for it the other day, and it opened up today.
I got that on my potential list, too.
So that's on my kind of probably list. I want to go do the 100K. Because the first part of that course is really pretty.
It is.
It is. There's a really mean moose, too, at the first part of the course. So I want to go smack it on the butt.
And run fast.
Yeah, exactly. The last time I did the long course there, I stuck my hand in a cactus. And if you've ever done that, it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. I'm going to try to avoid that.
That's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah. And I want to do better on the Scout Mountain side. So if you've ever done that race, there's this whole section on Scout Mountain that is just horrendous. Really it is. It's terrible. It's pretty. It's challenging. So I want to go back and do better.
Nice.
I don't look forward to being at the Nordic Center again.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. We were right there.
I hated that section tremendously.
Yeah. That's when I just stuck my head down and said, the hell with it, I'm going for it. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. So I want to do that, and then obviously after that, Beaverhead. I don't know what to expect at Beaverhead, to be honest.
I still don't. I got to take a better look at it, I think.
It's all elevation, and I struggle with elevation.
See, my problem is I look at the photos and just think how pretty it is. Like, I'm not
know,
paying
right?
attention to what I should.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. That's awesome. That's cool. But I'm like, oh,
know.
it's going to hurt to get there.
Yeah. Oh, so go there, go fast. That one's like an A race for me, though.
Yeah.
I want to go there and go fast, blow up if I have to, but to get to finish. Vaquero, I want to go fast. What'd you say? You're 7:30? I want to go under 7.
Dang. Now you're making me look bad.
Yeah, I want to go under 7.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I do. I think I can. So then Tetons. I want to do the Tetons in August. I can't go wrong there.
No, that's still on my want-to-do list, so bad list.
And then I'd like to do, I think it's Skyline Marathons the week after Vaquero, something like that. Now, I've never done well at Skyline. So I want to go back and do it. It's in our backyard.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty course, too.
And it's a good prep for a later race. So I'd like to do Vaquero, Skyline, and Mid-Mountain. I don't know why I want to go to Mid-Mountain again. I have no idea.
You did that last year.
I did that last year, and I did well.
Yeah.
And I know I can run it faster, but I'm just looking at it as prep for the Bear.
You're doing the Bear?
Yeah, I'll sign up next week.
Oh, fuck, yeah, you're right. For some reason, I keep thinking that's full, too, but I know it's not.
It's not.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it hasn't filled up yet.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
not.
I'll go ahead and sign up next week.
Nice.
For it. So the Bear is going to be like the A Daddy race, like
Yep.
yours, right? The
Yep.
triple, quadruple A.
Yep.
Time-wise there, sub 24. That's my goal. And I will blow myself up trying to do it.
Wow. I would now.
And I've got myself a pacer.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who's pacing you? Can you say?
No.
You can't?
Top secret.
Is it really?
Yeah. Damn. I can tell you off mic.
Okay, because I want to know. That's just me. So let me ask you this. So these are because I'm looking at the sub 24 at the Bear. That's
sub 24 at the Bear. I know that course
stout.
inside and out.
Yeah, that's stout though.
I know exactly where it's going to hurt me the most.
Yeah. What? So let me ask you this: because last year you went? Are you going to use a coach this year again?
I've been talking to Ty. He and I actually, we were supposed to start back up in December, but then that whole hernia thing screwed everything up.
Yeah.
So he and I haven't really talked a whole lot about coaching lately. We've been talking about his coaching services and how we're going to direct new users on his website to coaching services. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I will. I'll get back on it because it helped. I know it helped.
Yeah.
I just got to get back on I got to get that motivation back, and I got to get that consistency back.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Like you said, this weather. You got the first of the year, the holidays.
Oh yeah,
holidays, and then like you said, I mean, I did rock solid with following Jeff Browning and the Primal Blueprint. Just I don't know if I've ever felt better, honestly. Yeah. And then the holidays hit.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Right, and it's just too easy to fall back. Yeah, just you name it.
Yeah.
So I'm the same with you on that one for sure. But yeah, I've been tossing around the idea of the coaching thing, and I don't know. I don't know if I should pull the trigger or not yet or now. I mean, I still have.
The scary thing is that, in the past, when I've had Ty as my coach, I would just check in with him every once in a while.
Yeah.
So, dude, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm doing. And then he would write me a new plan for a month. Now that little stinker is following me on Strava.
Oh,
so
yeah?
He is like totally stalking me on Strava.
Maybe I won't use Strava this year.
So that means there's more accountability there, which is good. I need that, to be honest. So that's kind of like the long-term goal for me personally.
That's a good year.
I think the biggest thing, and I need to go back to I do have a minor in psychology, so I know all about goal setting, and you just got to do it in incremental chunks, right?
Yeah.
Make those small deposits that compound over time.
And that's the hard part, especially now, is everybody, and I mean everybody, almost wants instant gratification or instant to see the success.
And that was another reason I got off social media, is because, I mean, one, it was taking up too much of my time.
Yeah.
And I've done a crap ton of work in the last 2 months since I have kind of ignored Facebook and Instagram and the Twitter.
Yeah, the Twitter.
Yeah. So there's that. I don't have that need for instant gratification anymore.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you find, because that's what I think sometimes you find yourselves comparing. Not like in a competitive way maybe, but it's like,
Right.
wow, they're doing that. And I'm...
Yeah, in a way.
You know what I mean?
You kind of see that and you're like, oh, I got to go do that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have that urge anymore. I mean, I'm still on social media. I mean, because we use it for TrailManners, and I use it for a couple other businesses that I help manage. So I'm still there, but I'm not like 100% off of it, which would be glorious.
Yeah.
I understand the need for it. I mean, we use it heavily.
Yeah. Well, you need to in some aspects.
You absolutely have to.
You have to
you
be
have
in
to.
the game.
You can't not if you've got a brand like we have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, look at 90% of the people that we talk to, it's because of social media.
I know, right?
It's like the whole goal setting thing.
Yeah.
We just posted that thing about what your kind of your goals for 2017. And
right.
It was awesome to see.
It was cool
people
to see.
that like want to go from like winning a race to I'm going to try my first 10K, my first
which
ultra.
Is so cool.
Oh,
to see.
so cool. And even on our
that.
Strava, we have a club page on Strava, the TrailManners.
Right.
We're up to like 86 people. We kind of put that
Really?
on there.
That's awesome.
Kind of put that on there, kind of what are your goals? And people were kind of doing the same thing. And they ranged from run my first marathon to, again, some crazy, awesome goal at 100-miler or whatever. And sometimes I've used that for like just inspiration to me.
Yeah.
When you see someone say, hey, I've been running for 2 or 3 years and next year I'm going to do my first 100. And it's like,
that's awesome.
I remember my
love
first
seeing that
100.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, me too. Because you kind of
Yeah,
feel
if I can
like
just
you're-
have a filter and just see stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be
I
awesome.
take that all day long.
Because there's some stuff. And I have the problem sometimes I see the stuff that irks me and I focus on it. Instead of like keep growing, I got to go, I'm going to read the rest of that. And they're like, gosh dang it, I'm fired up right now.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
Just like having a duck face.
Yeah. The duck face.
The duck face. God, that's some serious goals you have.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of came up with them back in October, when I was running really fast. It's like, well, this is what I'd like to do next year. And then that hernia hit, and that kind of screwed everything up. So I actually had more audacious goals set for next year until the hernia came along that I don't want to talk about right now.
Well, I think that's true with a lot of it is like the goals that you set. I don't say they range or full. Like I'm gonna really like put these somewhere in my office by my desk, right? Because
I'll put them on my white. I got a whiteboard.
That's what I want to put up.
I have a whiteboard next to in my office, and I write all my, when I'm building websites. I write all these notes on there, to-do list. And so goals would be awesome to have on that because every time I walk in, I'll see it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to do because I do have those goals. But golly, I keep going back to the same thing, and unfortunately, I've said it more than just right now in years past. But I honestly want to see what I'm capable of doing because we've all had those races. Like I had, my Wasatch a few years ago, or even another race or two where I've just felt like I nailed it for where I was, and thought, man, if I was fit, if I was slimmer, svelte, that's the word, svelte. If I was a little more svelte, wonder what I could have done. And I don't want to do that anymore because you see,
because we're getting too old to be doing that.
We're getting old, and you see like Carrie Fisher and all those things,
cow,
right? And so you're like, man, you never know.
She has duck face.
She does that a bit. Yeah,
when she got older, she totally had duck face.
But not like people are doing. I'm gonna send you some duck face photos from social media, and you're gonna go, oh,
you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about right now. But yeah, it's just, that's the whole thing. It's like you never know, And I don't mean to bring this up, but like a Dave Mackey's a good example too. This guy was like the Mac daddy, literally.
He
was crushing it, and then he has a setback,
right?
And he's gonna respond like crazy, but. You just never know when things may or may not happen.
Right.
And you just don't want to, they always talk about regrets and taking things with you. And I don't want to do that in running because I enjoy it.
Yep.
But I enjoy it more when I'm in it. Yep. Right. It's like when I'm overweight, I'm not trained, and you're out there and you're like starting over to a point.
Yeah,
you don't like it.
Exactly.
And then you get in the mode where you were chucking fast and everything. And that's when you're like, this is it. And that's what I want to grasp and hang on to for a year.
That's so much fun.
It is. And I want to hang on to that for a year where if someone says, hey, we're going to go on a 20-miler. Oh, Joe. So in case, I'm gonna interrupt the show right now.
Oh, hold on.
And,
you interrupt the show. I got to get a rag.
Yeah. So I came in today, and there's a brewery that's been knocking socks off of things lately up in these parts. And it's Melvin's, right? So it's the Melvin Brewing Company from Alpine, Wyoming, and they've been just crushing it with some good beverages. So there's one they had a series come out, and it's the Asterisk DIPA. And I had one for the first time this week because I've heard so much about them, and they are so tasty. And I come walking into Bomber Studio on January 1st, 2017, and Joel walks one over to me.
Not just one, a 4-pack.
Yeah, and then he says, "Oh, these other two are
These
for you."
other two are for you.
And I'm like, "What?" And then he just spilled his.
I just spilled mine.
He got all excited
Thank
and
goodness
kicked it
that
over.
was just about empty.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah, it's in underneath the gym mats.
But yeah, I mean, those are, I think in general, those are a lot of goals. And then there's like the TrailManners stuff, right? That we haven't even touched on. Some goals.
I mean, you and I really haven't sat down and talked about that at all.
Yeah, what we really want to push for in 2017. I mean,
2016, we're just kind of winging it and just figuring it out.
Well, I think you have to, at some point, just kind of see where, because we have busy lifestyles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, between work and then work.
Yeah.
And then family.
And then family.
And then, hey, we want to run.
Yeah.
And then apparently there's only 24 hours per day.
I know. And then we got this podcast, which kind of is, it's a big deal. I mean, we kind of downplay it and poo-poo it. But I guess it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 2 shows a week.
2 shows a week.
And it takes, I mean, on the mic sometimes it's an hour on these shows.
Yeah, and then there's all the production that you put into it.
The website, the mixing, the launching, I mean, there's a lot of work in this.
The back end texting and emailing between us.
Yeah, and the emojis.
Yeah.
So 2016 was kind of feeling it out more, like feeling our way.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to figure out where we fit. Because there's, everybody knows, everybody listens to them. There's a lot of podcasts out there.
Holy cow, so many
more. And there's more and more popping up,
right?
Especially with trail running. And we get that. And that's fine. We love it.
I know.
I mean, that's just more resources, right?
Yeah.
But we want to figure out where we fit in, but also how we can be different. Right? We want people to remember, kind of what we do. We want to attract and get the big guests on, which I think we have.
We did a pretty good job our first year.
Yeah.
And I think when we get big guests on, I don't want to talk about the obvious, right?
Yeah, I think that's the part that would be fun.
I want to go for that deeper story if we can and start exploring that a little bit more.
Yeah, boxers, briefs.
Yeah, totally.
Stuff like that.
Right?
Yeah, stuff that people may not know. So I think 2017 we have, like Joel said, we haven't really sat down and gone over, but we definitely need to make some changes to help make it better. Yeah,
and we're on that path. We kind of got sidetracked with the Trail Fest thing.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of our resources into that.
Which
we've got a good handle on that.
Yep.
And then we threw it a big curveball the other day.
A little bit.
Yeah. But, I think for the podcast, I want to see it continue doing 2 shows a week.
Yep.
The gear thing, the gear review thing, I think it's a good idea, but I'm a little nervous about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that we have a good feel for it yet of if you look at the Ginger Runner, he does such a good job with gear reviews.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't want to mimic him. I don't want to copy him. I want to have our own way of doing it. So I think we just need to do more and figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because we definitely have stuff right now that we need to do it on, that we need, not want, have. We need to do it on.
Exactly, and it's just trying to figure it out. Like, I think at the end of the last couple gear reviews we did, you did them in the bus, and I was like, that's the perfect way to do it. But the bus is broke.
We could drive to the bus. I have the key for it still.
That would be funny.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think 2017, there's some cool ideas and some things we want to do. Like I said, we got the Strava page. We're going to do some things there.
Right.
Obviously, kind of Joel mentioned just a second ago is the Ogden Trail Running Festival. Now that we've kind of gave that legs, got some of the huge, I mean, seriously, backbone of that is
the film
solid.
night is, we put so much effort into the film night. The film night is going to be fabulous.
Oh,
I don't want to say it's going to be epic, but it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be frosome.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. We keep adding to the film night, like, oh, yeah, we got to put this in their goodie bag.
Yeah, or we got to do this.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to miss that if you're in the area and you can attend. But then I was a little nervous. I was like, we put so much effort into the film night. I feel like we're kind of ignoring Saturday. So we're supposed to have running in the park, right?
Yeah.
Yoga. Solomon's
shoe demos.
Solomon's gonna be there at the shoe demo. We're gonna have an expo with vendors there. But for some reason, I just felt it's like, man, I feel like we're ignoring this, not giving it its full attention.
Yeah.
And that's why I texted you the other day. I said, dude, let's bring it back.
And you see how hard it took me to say, heck, yeah.
I know.
That was all I wanted to
In
hear.
a hot minute, you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm on the phone right now. I got so-and-so on the line. Let's do it.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and spice up Saturday for you guys.
Yeah.
We had, I think, pretty good interest in Saturday. Once you hear what we're going to do on Saturday, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. It's a festival.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day festival.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of where we're at. So we, like Joel mentioned earlier, and we just talked about, there's a solid backbone in place for that now. Like it's ready to now it's just basically filling out some branches as opposed to trying to get it stout. So now
filling out some permits.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
Insurance. So now we're going to swing back around to the TrailManners podcast. Uh-oh. Spoiler alert.
I know.
And back to that, I mean, we're going to announce on our single track session, but just as a spoiler too, is tickets for the film festival. There's only going to be 100.
Yeah. Initially, we were like, okay, we're going to put them out the first week of January. We weren't specific because we wouldn't have all the details nailed down. But we're there. We're trying to get the purchasing, the ticketing thing nailed down, so how you're going to actually buy it. That'll be resolved in the next few days.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we will make an announcement, and then it's game on.
I know. Go for it.
100 go. There's no.
I know.
No, hey, can you save me? Hey, is there any left? No. Nope,
oh my gosh! So I was at a party the other night, and somebody said, "Are you gonna give me a ticket?" And I said, "No. You have to buy a ticket because that auditorium is small.
Yep.
But cozy.
It's gonna be awesome."
Yeah, so we can't be like giving stuff out.
You can't on this one, man.
No, sorry.
You can come Saturday to the park. But yeah, someone asked me that too the other day about you going to give me a ticket. Yeah. And I said, yeah, for $25 you can have a ticket. And I tell you what, you give me another $25, you can have another one.
Oh, you just gave away the price.
Maybe I did. I guess I just did.
So the reason why he said 25 is because we were going back and forth 2 days ago on the pricing, and we were like, okay, well, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? And basically what it came down to is like, all right, $25 covers the cost of everything.
Everything.
We're not making diddly on this.
You get a film.
Yep.
You get a 25% off outlet prices.
I know.
In the whole outlet.
Yeah.
You get beer.
Yeah.
You get food.
Good food. Roosters.
And you get a goodie bag full of stuff, and you're going to be well over the $25 mark, like without even trying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you use your discount, you can save a grundle even there. So
I know.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get your money's worth. We wanted to price it not high, right? Because we didn't want people not to come. It's like, that's like steep, but we wanted to make sure that we could cover our expenses.
We have to, because you don't want it to come out of your personal pocket. But
yeah.
I think for that, for film night, we're going to meet our goal. And now we kind of like set this new goal for the
other thing.
The other thing. And I'd like to exceed that goal. Because we kind of talked about the other day, okay, we would like to see, X number of people show up on Saturday. Yeah. If we can do that, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I think we can. We got a good community here, plus people close by.
Yeah, people from Pocatello wanting to come down. I think they're going to be super pumped once they hear what we're actually going to do on Saturday.
People from all over, yeah. So yeah, we've definitely had our hands full, and again, it's just trying to grow. But it's something I hope that comes across, and we've talked about. But I hope everybody we want to do it in a quality way.
Absolutely.
And Jill says we were winging it. We were winging it at a higher level than just saying fancy pants in it. We were like, no, this is what we want to do, and that's why. Yeah. For example, we kind of didn't do a show last week.
No,
really.
We needed a break.
But we also
other people. So go back to that real quick. So other podcasters, they take like months off.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought we did an exceptionally good job our first year of producing some original content weekly.
Yeah. And that's what we want to do. And if we don't, we don't want to force a show.
No,
right?
never.
So if we don't have content, sometimes I'd rather not do a show than not have content.
Exactly. I'd rather bring back a show that was really popular and say, here, listen to this again because it was good.
But some things you can look for in 2017, because he just kind of mentioned it. I'm gonna put together like a best of.
That'd be fun.
Like when we have guests on, I'm going to take these funny stuff they say here and there, because there's some in the past we could have done last year, but it's just hard to go back and take these excerpts out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and put some of that together. I want to put some collages with people sending their photos in.
Yep.
I want to do some fun stuff because we see more and more people posting photos of their hats and their shirts and their beanies. And, for us, we absolutely love it.
That's like my favorite part now.
Yeah.
Is getting, one, the messages.
Yeah.
That just makes my day.
Yeah.
2, seeing pictures.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, I got to go see where they're running now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I love that. And then 3, when we get the random donation.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Absolutely. And we talk about a lot of that stuff on like our single track session, but
Right.
we'll talk about it, but we just got a $20 donation, right?
Yeah.
And that people don't understand $20. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it helps us a lot.
That's 2
right?
months of hosting
Hosting.
services
Yeah.
on Podbean.
Yeah, so that helps us a lot, but it's not even that. It's just cool.
It is. It means a lot to us.
And there's this little message they put on with the
right.
the donation, because there's a place that you can send a message, and that stuff
Right.
is just as much important as the $20, right?
Right.
So it's a blast. And that's, I think, partly why we still do it. And I hope people can hear it in our voices and during our shows, is we love doing this. Like, we have fun doing it. It's not we got to do a show this week. It's like, all right, bro, when are we getting together?
Yep, pretty much.
I mean, we're sitting in the elements inside a building to do the shows. We don't have a cozy office right now.
No, we don't have a cozy office. Even if we had the bus right now, it would not be cozy.
No, not at all. I'd have a fire barrel in there. But yeah, we absolutely love what we do. And I think that's a big part of it. And we've said it before, and I'll say it again. We've got to meet some cool people, and we have some more lined up coming up.
Yeah, we do.
And OR's coming, and we've mentioned this before. Outdoor Retailers coming back to Salt Lake. So if you're going to come in town and we want to chat with us,
let us know.
Let us know. We'd love to get people because that's a good time. Because we don't. I mean, we would love to travel around and get to places.
And I think that's one of our goals for 2017.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Is to figure out a way that we can go. I mean, obviously we're going to go for our races.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to go just to do a podcast.
Oh yeah. I have
somewhere.
some huge aspiration. I'd love to go to the East Coast and do one. We get a lot of call-outs for East Coast, right? But that's a little far for us.
That's a lot of travel.
It is.
Yeah,
but,
go back to my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. Is
go back to Ohio or North Carolina.
There you go.
Yeah.
Some of that Midwest stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be, I'm with Joel. That's kind of a goal, is to kind of get out, hit a race where there's going to be a handful of people.
Yeah.
Running clubs are always cool.
Yeah.
To kind of get out, because that's kind of what we are. We're just kind of that middle of the pack mentality.
Absolutely.
So and people, talk to us about what they want to see in 2017 are coming up, and that's kind of what we have, some of that stuff.
Right.
We're going to have a great show on DNF.
Yep.
How to deal with it and how to rebound type thing,
right.
which a lot of people need. So, I mean, there's a lot of content, and sometimes it's just a matter of finding that right guest for some of those.
Yeah, right. I mean, like the winter running thing. I mean, obviously we should have had that dialed in like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
But it just never worked out with the guests that we want to bring on to do it.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to get that done. And it's not like that information is going to be outdated next year. It's still going to be good.
Yeah.
And the smart thing would be is like listen to the guest and be like, oh, he uses that product. That's a good idea. I can get that now at a discount.
Oh,
because retailers are gearing up for spring, right?
Yeah, they will be for sure. So there's a man. I mean, we just covered a lot of stuff for 2017 that we.
I think so. I think we got some good personal goals. We've got some goals for the podcast, goals for our Trail Fest, the 2-day Trail Fest.
Yeah.
We have, we're trying to work on another events right now, which we'll start chipping away at this week.
But we had the thing. We'd love to hear your goals.
Yeah, I know, that was fun.
They inspire me, man, because I remember gearing up for my first ultra. I remember gearing up for my first 100-miler. I remember those things. And the other thing we didn't talk about that we're doing too, and he's in Hawaii right now, but Jeff Hart, that got into hard rock. We want to kind of talk to him throughout his training.
Right now?
Yeah, right. Dang. He's not training for hard rock right now.
I don't like him right now.
But, talking to him, because that was one of the things, his first hard rock race. He's done some hundreds for sure, done well. But kind of how his training is going to be training out of Bellingham, Washington.
Right.
So just some fun stuff for 2017. And I'm super pumped, man. Like I said, 2016 TrailManners podcast and the people involved, whether it's Joel or
that was awesome.
People out listening, that was probably one of the highlights of my year.
It definitely was. The rest of it can suck it.
Yeah. Hashtag suck it.
That's right.
That was definitely a highlight of our year for sure. And again, meeting the people that listen to the show, that was always.
So fun.
I mean, like Joel mentioned, in a race, he saw some people.
Wendy Jagalowski.
Yeah.
Big old bear hug.
Yeah. So, I mean, those always bring a smile to our face. I remember that race. It goes, hey, people come up to me and say, oh, you're TrailManners.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe.
Maybe. You don't have a gun, do you?
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute. Is that beer in your pocket?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Yes.
So that's the part we love. And I think everybody out there that's involved in the trail running aspect, whether it's ultra or, 10K, any aspect of the trail running, what that community's like.
Yeah, they're rad.
Yeah, so being a part of the community in some way, and like I said, we get some really, really nice messages saying, hey, I look forward to learning more because of your podcast. And
right.
Me and Joel will be the first to say we're not experts here, but we do have a lot of
we've been
experience.
doing it for a long time, right?
We have some experience.
We've been around for a while.
We've been around a long time, really.
But we're always tinkering, always trying to find that new thing.
Yeah, new way to do it, new thing, new weird whatever. Yeah. And we're the same way as everybody out there. We look, we've scoured the web to come.
We're the biggest fanboys.
Yeah, so that'll never change.
No.
So, yeah, 2017 high hopes. It equals 8, which is always a good thing. 2016's in the past.
Yep.
And just like you guys out there, you start off the year blank pages, ready to write your new chapter in your book, and then now we can be accountable more.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
That's what it's going to be. So, I think that's kind of a wrap.
Yep.
Show number 1, which is show number 65.
Wow.
And that doesn't include the other stuff we've done.
I know, it's just crazy. We
Single-track
put a lot of
sessions.
stuff out there in 1 year.
Yeah, we did. So 2017, don't think we're gonna falter or slow down. We got some higher goals and aspirations.
Gas pedal and go, right?
We figured out the things we feel comfortable with. Now it's time to go get it. Right.
That's right.
So anyway. Single track sessions coming up this week, too. There's going to be a couple big announcements on there. You're not going to want to miss those.
Yep.
And then next week, tune in. You never know who we're going to have on or what we're going to be talking about, right? So thanks again for 2016. 2017 is on its way. New year, new goals. We're out. Thank you for listening to the TrailManners podcast. We want to wish you all a happy 2017, and thanks for joining us. We also want to encourage everybody to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at TrailManners. Swing by the website at TrailManners.com. There's still some gear on there. There's a sexy little donate button you can help us out with. So don't forget to hit us up on the contact page. Let us know what you want to see, who you want to hear, or even if you would like to be on our show. Until next time, this is Eric Manning with Joel Hatch reminding you, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. Now go get it.